Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, dear friends, it is a real pleasure to be here at a time where a lot of things are happening. I was asked today to talk about digital transformation, particularly in the manufacturing industry. And I was very happy to accept this because manufacturing is something which Germany and Mexico and Siemens share together as an extremely important thing. The question is, well, why should we care so much? Why should we care so much about manufacturing? Well, the answer is we are witnessing the single biggest transformation in manufacturing and engineering of all time. Some call it the Internet of Things, others call it Industry 4.0, but the magnitude and the speed of change in manufacturing is second to none, and manufacturing is 70% of global trade. So we better be careful that we are not going to miss the boat. We better be mindful about what needs to be done in order to do the right things. Fourth industrial revolution will change practically every human activity. The way we communicate, the way we interact with each other, the way we learn, the way we work, the way we use energy, the way we make things, and the way we use our resources on this planet. Everywhere, anytime, by anybody. The Internet of Things is what we are going to see. And this Internet now is reaching the industrial world. And we've seen what the Internet has been doing in the consumer world. Think about, fixed line phones. We now use Skype, cell phones, WhatsApp. So who still has a fixed line phone and makes phone call with it? Not too many, probably. Maybe at work, but certainly not while we are traveling. Nobody goes to a phone booth anymore and makes a phone call if you have a mobile phone with you. Massive change. Instead of bank transfers and cash, we're beginning to use the digital payment systems all over the world. And instead of being surprised by earthquakes or other natural disasters, we can now use apps like Sky Alert to warn us ahead of time. It doesn't solve the problem of the natural disaster, but we can get prepared at an earlier point in time. And I'm sure you have heard the expression, the Internet cuts out the middleman, taking out the weakest link of the value chain, put it together, make it more efficient, and create customer value. The bad thing is, the ones who are being cut out are gone, because the digital age is binary. It's you're in or you're out. You're one or you're zero. It's almost like this Swedish music band. Do you know this Swedish music band, ABBA? Some of you here are in my generation, so I'm sure you do. It was music in the 70s, and ABBA was having a lot of hits, but one was "The Winner Takes It All." That's what happens in the industrial age of the Internet. Winner takes it all. But the song of ABBA was actually continuing and saying the loser is standing tall. Unfortunately, this is not the case, because the loser will actually take the Waterloo, which they also have been landing a big hit. But on a more serious note, this Internet now, this Internet which has changed the whole world in the consumer space, that is now reaching the industrial world. reaching manufacturing, reaching engineering. And this is happening as we speak. In Germany, we call it Industry 4.0. In other countries, it's the Internet of Things. There are many, many different names, but the factual matter is the same. A more efficient value chain, significantly higher speed, the way we manufacture and the way we develop. And the way it works today is that with all those tools, with technology, we can simulate the physical processes. We can simulate manufacturing. And that means from every hardware, anything. We today already can use and can design a so-called digital twin in cyberspace. And on that digital twin, now we do the optimization. Optimize the manufacturing process. Optimize engineering. Make the product, the service, a better service. And then once it's been optimized in the virtual world, in the digital twin, we bring it back into the physical world, into manufacturing, into R&D and engineering. And this is what is happening today, and those possibilities do not stop there. We do have 3D printing readily available. That means whatever we design in cyberspace, we can actually 3D print. So there is there's hardly any destructive testing. So massive improvement, and pretty sure that machine learning will be the most exciting, the most fundamental theme of manufacturing execution and the fourth industrial revolution in the next 5 to 10 years. Machine learning is going to be the single biggest thing in the real world of manufacturing and engineering. So, what do we get? Except a lot of speeches, a lot of words, a lot of techie stuff. Not everybody's a software engineer, so come on. You know, people have sometimes other things to worry about than digital twins. Like, how can I buy my car? How can I survive the month till I get paid again? So there are massive topics which we need to look at that. But what the fourth industrial revolution will bring is basically 3 major topics. First, the speed will massively increase. Today we know already that with the digital twin and bringing it back to reality, we can reduce the time till products are being developed, the so-called time to market, by 50%. 50%. 50% less time and subsequently less cost to develop a new product. We know already that efficiency, productivity in manufacturing can be boosted up to 30 to 40% depending on what we actually produce. 30 to 40% productivity increase. And then something will become possible which has never been really thought this would be possible. Remember when Henry Ford was producing the cars on a street of manufacturing? What mattered? Well, size mattered, right? This buy three get one free. The bigger the size, the higher the volume, the lesser the cost. Mass production was coming into place. Today, with the Internet of Things, with the tools of the Industrial Revolution, in manufacturing, if we apply those tools in manufacturing, we can basically produce every individual product. Lot size 1 at the cost of mass production. Lot size 1 at the cost of mass production. And that has never been able to be achieved before. What it does is, we can individualize our demands. Somebody wants a pink refrigerator with 3 times the size of the freezing cabinet. Well, you get a pink one. tomorrow. You order it at night when you cannot sleep from jet lag over the internet, and a few days later you get it individualized at a higher price, but at similar cost. Customer value and benefit of a higher price at lower cost in manufacturing. That's in essence what it is. And there is something else. Something else which matters a lot in highly professional application, like aerospace, defense, or in the car industry. And that's quality. Quality. Today, sort of every tenth, 1 in 10 iPhones don't work within 3 months. So what do? Well, you bring them back to the dealer and say, give me a new one. It's a bit, it's a bit weird. You don't like it because, it's uneasy, but okay, fine. Nothing really happens. So 1 in 10, that means 10% are bad quality. Now think about the brake system for cars, failing 1 in 10. Not going to be a good idea. Not going to be a good idea. So quality matters in highly professional applications. Think about the chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry. Just imagine, the quality, the mix of the prescription, varies a little bit. Well, it's not exactly working that way. High quality. And this is what you can do. In our Industry 4.0 factory in Amberg in Germany, where we test all those matters, the motto we always use in Siemens, we say, eat your own dog food. Don't tell people to use your products if you don't use them yourself. So we do that, and we have in the meantime on the PCB boards, which we manufacture for computers, we have a quality rate of 99.9989%. That's 1.1 parts a million. So not too bad. And this is possible today. And this is something which we can do today. And we do it, by the way, at our manufacturing site in Guadalajara, where we make motors up to 800 horsepower for professional application. We've been able to shorten the manufacturing time and the time we develop the application by 7 to 8 months, from 17 and 18 to 7 to 8 months. More than 50% of production and productivity increase. That's pretty cool, and that's what we can do. 60% of all car manufacturing facilities here in the country. And a lot of them, as you know, use Siemens product lifecycle management software, design software, and they know why. And also Mexico's own industry, like the vehicle makers, the truck and bus company, Dina, they use our PLM software to modernize their trucks, make them more efficient. As you know, Mexico is the world's one of the world's leading beer producers. Also a commonality between Germany and Mexico. And I think the jury is still out which beer is the better beer, but definitely Mexico is the #1 world exporter of beer. #1. And no matter whether it's Corona or Don Equis, they're using our product lifecycle management to optimize their process in the way they produce beer and bring them to the customers. So a lot of applications, that's pretty cool. So digitalization in the industry today, it has its use cases, it has its customer benefits, and what it does is it creates better working conditions, it creates growth, and it creates good Mexican beer. And that's not too bad. And there are other customer examples. I could go on and on and on. Sucrolic, the El Marino coffee brand, they all use our product lifecycle management systems to optimize their processes and optimize production. So the benefits are huge, and they're undisputed. They're undisputed. So there is one little minor topic. And it's not technology. Absolutely not technology. It's not even skilled workers. The Internet of Things connects all devices. Only then you have this benefit. But the Internet of Things means a connected world. Free flow of data. Anywhere, anytime, to anyone. Siemens has 470 factories all over the world. I do want to know my factory data anytime, anywhere, from anything. Free flow of data. But then we have those geopolitical debates about, which country plays right and wrong, and which should export or import or not, which plays fair and not fair, and should be sanctioned and not. So how could that work? You have a free world which is connected, and more you see this nationalist behavior saying, well, my country is my country. I'm not going to let anyone in and not let anyone out. The problem with that is, ladies and gentlemen, we need to build bridges, no walls. There is no fourth industrial revolution in a world which is nationalized. There is none. So you could say, oh, fine, then we do our Mexican way, we do the German way, we do the American way, we do the Chinese way, we're all happy. Maybe a few, the ones who have a good life already. But how about those 30, 40 million people living in poverty in your country? How about all those people in Germany who doing really well, but know exactly that it's not going to last for long because this country is dependent on export like no other country in the world? Global trade, free flow of goods and services has taken millions and millions and millions of people out of poverty, anywhere in the world, no matter where we look at. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, so important. This is so important. This will not work, will not continue, if we as leaders, politically and economically, don't free up our minds that my country first, and there's nothing wrong with that, my country first, Mexico first, Germany first. There's nothing wrong with it. I would be really surprised if my Chancellor, Merkel, would say, oh, well, Germany second. I would go like, are you crazy or what? Of course you need to be your first country, but Germany only is no way. And Mexico only is no way. So we need to open up ourselves, because otherwise technology cannot help and could not fulfill its primary task, which is making this world a better place. The second topic, of course, is the topic of winner takes it all. The ones who are being cut out as the middleman, as the weakest link of the value chain. How are we going to deal with that? How are we going to deal with the fact that the internet is going to attack the middle class? Well, you could say it doesn't matter. Middle class is always, I don't know, lazy and what have you. But what if 10 people in the middle class are being attacked, losing their status, and one goes up to the upper class and 9 go down? Do we really think that this is going to work? Do we really think that this society is going to accept that there are too many losers and only a few winners from the digital age? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I guarantee you, if the elites of the world, the governments, us here in this room, universities, even maybe the churches, are not going to be able to unify this situation, we will have cars in the street, but they are not self-driving, but they are burning. So the immediate task which we have is that we are going to be inclusive of society while we are going to the next level of the industrial world. Not everybody is a software engineer. People need help. They need to be able to understand what's in for me. Why should I go for this? And if I cannot win, am I going to be left behind? Or is there somebody who helps me? And that's what I typically call inclusive capitalism. We need to find a way that capitalism is inclusive of society. I strongly do believe that capitalism is the right way to go for the world, because people need to be able to get something done, need to deliver performance. But we've been taking it too far. We've been taking it too far. Short-termism, making the richest more rich, and not caring about the ones who are being left behind, is the wrong way for the future. So we need to find a way that we can help the ones who are being left alone, that they are not going to be left behind. And that's why we need to be inclusive. There are many ways to do that. First, companies need to be strong. They need to be competitive, because only the strong ones can help the weak ones. Companies need to take a responsibility for their employees for the future, that they stay employable. Maybe not at the same company, but that they stay employable. And that's why we need to make sure that not only the students, not only the pupils are being trained in the digital age. They are trained already anyway. Look at your daughters or granddaughters or grandsons. They know how to deal with that stuff. Intuitively, they do their thing. That's going to be okay. The universities, well, they lag a little bit behind, but they're going to get the job done. But how about those millions and millions and millions and millions of people who are the current workforce? The current ones who work in factories today and maybe have a fundamentally change in the way they need to do their job in the future. So that's where we need to focus on. We all together, the governments and the companies, to prepare the current workforce for the change which we are going to have. There are many studies around those things. One is from McKinsey. They said about 380 million people or jobs are going to change in the next 10 years. Look, I don't know, maybe it's 400 million, maybe it's 200 million, but it's 200 million too many if they're not being retrained and be requalified. And that's why we need to be mindful as leaders, as socially responsible companies, on all the socio-economic topics. Technology is one thing, it's mostly solved. But the way we deal with it, in the inclusiveness of society, is one of the single biggest responsibilities we have today. And every one of us here in this room has that responsibility to explain to our people what exactly does the fourth industrial revolution mean. Because contrary to the other three, this time it's not exactly tangible. You know, if you have the steam machines and people in agriculture had a better life because they needed to carry those heavy weights all the time and somebody helped them, well, it was tangible. People could see, now the steam machine does it for me. The electrification helps me, to have a better job, easier work. But now cyberspace, digital twin, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, machine learning. Oh my God. It's like a dark force. It's not tangible. You cannot really touch it. And that's why it's important for us to explain to our people, what is it, does it do, how can it help you to make our life better, and if you are being affected by it, negatively affected, here is the way we help you to get out of trouble. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a different way of looking at things. But I'm not a technologist, but I'm with this company, the Siemens companies, twice as long as I'm not. We have 380,000 people. We are around for 172 years. And by the way, 125 years at this very moment in Mexico. I'm not going to let this company go into the dark because I'm lacking the responsibility it takes to be a leader and take the society forward. And I would actually encourage all of you, don't look at technology. It's be solved. Look at how you're going to deal with your people, which you have a responsible for them to have a better life. But at the end of the day, you won't be remembered how much money you made. You're not going to be remembered for how long you have been with your company and how big of a chief entertainment officer you have been. You will be remembered what you did for your people. And with that, new challenge, new opportunity, fourth industrial revolution, I'm very glad I'm here because this is one of the single most important venues in Mexico because 130 million and the next generation relies on you and us to get it right. Thank you very much.